Very much, and I'd like to apologize for being two yeses, but actually the network is not stable, so I joined from my phone. This first. Secondly, I'd like to thank Louisa for inviting me for this webinar, and it's my pleasure to be with this group of experts from different places around the world. Let me begin to save time to share the presentation. Where is it? I'll find it. Let me clarify that it's hard to talk about the Arab world, and as we will go through the presentation, we'll find I recognize that all of you knows how big is it and how there is a lot of variation. But let's talk uh, first about what happened. Okay, the fear and shocking confidence. This is what happened all over the world. Although we have
Your
uh,
presentation is not yet visible. I think we still
are you
see
sure?
only your folders. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, we see your folder, but we do not see your presentation. Ah, yes, now we see it. Thanks.
That's it.
So
Yes, fine.
Okay, the fair cover the whole world. Although we have since long time some warning from, and I remember that Martin Rees in 2006 announced that there is a lot of trees will face the humanity. Actually, what is the major effect of the pandemic, that lot of human values had been not the people lost the confidence in such human values like the globalization, the freedom, the social life and concept. All these concepts and others become doubt of many people, and instead of this concept, there is other concept appeared: the localization, the quarantine, the isolation, the social distance. Most of the people were afraid from what happened all over the world, and the pictures was full of doctors and health staff and some politicians. Actually, the urban planners did not recognize before, I think, the safety and security. And now they began to look for the future. How could we recognize the safety and security in our plans? This is the situation all over the world and in the Arab world also. The health isolation is staying home and social distance, business closure, no public transportation, working remotely, no public space, no travel restrictions, no life. Let's talk a little bit and give have brief information about the Arab countries. It's not only it's one culture, but with the mixed diverse, one nation, but various people, different situations, totally different. We have about 22 countries, one language, but many slangs, three religions, but many groups, uh, economic and political difference, a source of oil and source of trouble sometimes, source of migration and refuge, and source of opportunities. It's totally different. And even the United Nations or the UN Habitat make the Arab countries, they separate them for different groups of countries. The Al Mashriq, they say, and the group of countries in the east and in the west, and the Gulf, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf, and the low developed. And we will find from the numbers mentioned in the report of the UN Habitat that the urbanization, the urbanization percentage is totally different. In United Arab Emirates is 86, but in different places in Kuwait it's 100, and in Sudan it's 34, and in Saudi Arabia it's 84. And you will find this is clarify the social and economical and even political difference. Why we need new vision? I think I go through some articles all of them are mentioning that we need, from the urban point of view, and from not only from the urban planning point of view. Frank Harris by the UNIDO, he mentioned that especially the Arab countries will be shocked economically, and in the short term, and this is the case now either in the Gulf, in Egypt, or wherever. Uh, Short term, all firms and industries will need help from the government to be support to survive, and in the long term, they have to build different economies in all countries in general. Another article related to the city visioning, and this is done by Professor Tim Jackson. He's emphasizing that this is opportunity for urban future. We have to rethink in general, not only in the Arab countries. And We will come later to the Arab countries, but we have also 5 keys. I'm trying to go through why now we are looking for new urbanism or future urbanism. Still by Roger van den Berg, he's discussing the same point. Let me go a little bit through by this is Egyptian professor working in Qatar, and he writes an very nice article and announce maybe at the beginning of, of the pandemic, and he arise few critical questions about the population density and the collapse of urban retail. This is the most important for me. There is other important questions also about how could the architecture will provide a new vision for the public and the private space, and how the citizen will feel in the city. Lastly, the UN mentioned, and I think most of you go through this article, but actually at the conclusion they mentioned the highlighted sentence, which has impressed me. Envision a realistic way. It means that we are working since long time in not realistic way. And the second one, for building resilience against shocks. So it means that till now we couldn't be able to build. We have to look for those 2 items. I have another 2 options which I collect. One of them is emphasizing on the desire of all inhabitants in the blind for the continuation of life. This is good and optimistic, and I like it. It's mentioned in Ali Abdul Rauf by Victor Blue, and the other one is describing the situation in Arab world. It's done by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, because the discussion for a few years ago between the economic and politics, and finally he said that we found that the health is the first, and then we will discuss about the politics and the economy, because the health is the most important now. I think from my point of view, and I am working in a municipality, as Louisa said before, we have to go on ground. We have with appreciation of all theoretical, we have to look for 3 points: more health service, reduction of density, and more public space. And this is, I think, it's common for all Arab countries, whatever the economic situation and whatever the political situation, because both are controlling the life. We find in Saudi Arabia, for example, the Holy Mosque had been closed and still closed till now. And now they are limiting the number of pilgrims that will go in the next week. We need to ensure the health in the life in the Arab life, whatever the country is, and we have to find better healthcare service and open space. And in the level of the municipality, I think we have to begin, and not only the municipalities, the experts all over the world, they have to revise the standard and the regulation to enable the developers to provide health care in small communities, regardless to the standard, to the economics, and ensure health education also in small communities. Because in different, in Egypt, for example, we have shortage in doctors and the health stuff in Egypt, and I'm sure in all countries, whatever the country is, because Egypt is about 100 million, and we have a lot of doctors, but most of them are, I'm sorry, I'm finished. This is the last one. We have also to stop the high-rise towers and high-rise cities, and we have to provide open public space anywhere in the city. Thank you very much.